Talk about the blind leading the blind. Goodness. Depending on how avid of a channel follower you are, maybe you've seen kind of a theme about, hey, you gotta be kind of careful who you listen to. And that has kind of gone outside of even the Clay Trader Mal video. And this topic comes up once again here. And as far as Clay Trader Mal videos are concerned, more data points about why you just can't be listening to strangers on the internet, especially if you don't have any context about who they are, especially if it's just down in the comment section of a YouTube video, because this one made me laugh for sure. At first I was like, hey, thanks. I always appreciate when people, stand up for me and try to defend me a little bit and try to set others straight. And then all of a sudden they just kind of go full circle and it's like, wait a second. Yeah, you kind of know, but you also don't know based off of the statement that you just made. So let's get to this comment and maybe you'll notice the irony in it, but yeah, blind leading the blind. So Dave says, a lot of people bashing him don't really have much experience, but this is catching a falling knife and not a high percentage strategy. This is where actually a really good learning example comes into play though, because you have to notice what they're trying to do with their phrasing. By proclaiming others are not experienced, they are trying to somehow justify that therefore they are experienced because they know that other people are not experienced, that by default makes them experienced. So that's what I could see happening, because I don't know if this person's trying to do that intentionally or not, but that is how it comes across, is by throwing other people under the bus for bashing me, and that just shows their inexperience. Therefore, hey, listen to me. And then they say they'll listen to me and they go on to make a statement about my strategy and it being a low percentage. That's about as false that's as false as it can get about my strategy. If you've ever seen any of the vlogs or the past articles I've done that show my results, in fact, I'll put one down below from the month of November, because they're basically implying that it's some sort of low probability strategy, that it's basically essentially gambling the way they're phrasing it in terms of, yeah, catching a life, low percentage. But if you were to watch the video down below about my November results, or I'll just tell you, I didn't have a single red day. So does that sound like a low probability percentage strategy when I literally did not have a red day in an entire month? And if you don't believe me, that's fine. Go back, go down and watch that video. It's got a screenshot of my brokerage and all that. But here's this person saying, trying to come across like they are experienced, and then they make a totally false, a totally ignorant statement by watching my video. Blind leading the blind. You gotta be really careful, because that person is just as inexperienced as all these other people that they're kind of throwing under the bus. And again, that's why you gotta be very, very careful who you're listening to online, who you're listening to, just really wherever, because do these people that you're potentially listening to actually know what they're talking about, actually know and have kind of the credibility to make statements, to make judgments that they are making. And that's why at this point I speak kind of confidently about all this, because this is not like it's my first Clay Trader Mal video where I don't have any other examples of this sort of stuff going on. All you got to do is go through the playlist and you'll see exactly what I mean. There's a lot of this out there, and the sad part is there's a lot of people that would believe what this Dave fella has to say, that, oh wow, so because other people are inexperienced, he's experienced, and therefore because he's experienced, he's making statements about this Clay Trader guy, and all this stuff is just it's very low probabilities. Well, I have proof. I literally have proof that it's not low probabilities. So it's all just silly when you stop and think about it. So be very, very careful of who you're listening to, and make sure that, there's nothing wrong with being blind. In fact, if you admit that you're blind, that's always the first step in the sense of, hey, admitting that you need to learn. And there's no shame in that at all, because we all start out as blind in different areas and we all need to be able to learn. But what's tricky and what you need to be very careful is, when you are blind, don't let some other blind person lead you, like this situation. Don't take things to heart that shouldn't be, because the person that's making them is just as blind as you are. So be very, very careful of that, and do your best to be aware of your surroundings. And this is why I always, hey, at least if anything, if you think my courses are too expensive, fine. Consider joining our, my private trading group. It's only $99 a year, and you're gonna start to put yourself in a spot where I promise you that the people that are in there are not blind. They are maybe not necessarily the perfect trader, maybe not $1 million trader, but they're definitely approaching things from a way that, you know, things are supposed to be approached. And those are the sorts of people that you want to start to be able to surround yourself with. And, you know, that's what's going to help you avoid blind leading the blind type situation. So consider at least the training group, and I'll put a link down below to that. And like I said, yeah, I hope you consider joining. If you are out there trading alone currently and maybe are in the market looking for a community to join to assist you in your trading or to just help you, you know, give you another set of eyeballs, then I do have a private trading community where you can trade alongside me and other experienced traders. So what you see popping up on the screen right now is both an information link. So if you click on the inner circle one, that is going to take you to the page where I explain all the details of what exactly come with the community, both the chat room and the newsletter. And then the other image that has popped up is a behind the scenes tour where you can see exactly what is going to, you know, be contained within the community. I take you through, like I said, a behind the scenes tour of everything, and that way you'll know precisely what you are getting, when you join. So definitely check that stuff out if you are interested and thinking about, wanting to join a community, and let me know if you have any questions.